Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and go over the configuration for iOS. I have a router and a couple switches in my lab, so I'm just going to go ahead and configure those. So as we kind of went over in previous videos, you want to make sure the deployment has the device admin service enabled, which we did here, and let's go ahead and define our devices in network devices. So I already have both switches configured for it, or configured in ICE, but I haven't specified a TACACS shared key yet, so I'll do so now. And then I have to add my router. So let's go ahead and just I haven't created a network device group for routers yet, so let's go ahead and create one now. All device types, and we're just going to call this routers. And you'll see why I'm specifying a different network device group. Usually you could just toss them all in together, but the roles-based access I want to go ahead and create will be a little different. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the inside interface. I could put a loopback, but just going to do it this way, quick and easy. And I'll go ahead and configure the TACACS shared secret. Perfect. So we're going to go to Work Centers and Device Administration and Policy Elements. And go to Results, TACACS Profiles. And essentially I'll just create iOS shell 15, or iOS admin. How's that? Default privilege this is going to be for our admin account, so it's just going to be 1515. Max is 15. Submit. Then we're going to create one for our read-only. iOS read only. And that's going to be default privilege is 1, not 0, 1, and max is 15. Submit. Actually, I'm going to rename this to something a little more intuitive. Demo. There we go. Now we're going to configure the command sets. Now, I could reuse ASA all, but I'm a little too iOS all. I'm a little too OCD for that, so I'll just go permit all command sets not listed below. Now we're going to create a fun one for iOS demo users. So I want them to be able to do show commands and shut and unshut certain ports. So permit, enable, check, permit, show, check. Oh, hold on a sec. Okay, so first we're going to do enable. Sorry, I just killed my commands. Then I'm going to permit show command. Then I'm going to go ahead and permit configure terminal. Then I'm going to permit interface. And this is where it gets a little fun. So gigabit Ethernet, say 1, 0, 14. Check. Basically interfaces that I don't have to worry about them shutting down a trunk port. But if I wanted them to be able to log in and shut and unshut an interface to just demonstrate an ICE authorization, they'd be able to have that access. just going to put this all the way up to gig 24, I mean. And there's other characters you can use to kind of make this a little easier. I'm just doing it kind of the hard way right now. There's a whole nice little TACACS document out there on like the different wildcards you can kind of put in and different commands you can kind of discriminate between a lot of these interfaces and save yourself doing what I'm doing right now. But I don't really want to have to research that or test it out. I'm just doing it quick and easy and dirty. So we're going to do permit shut down, and I think I can also put permit no shutdown. Perfect. So shut and unshut a port, and essentially be able to go to the interfaces, gig 1, 0, 15 through 24. Let me double check that that's the interfaces on these switches. Enable, show IP. So that would work there. Yeah, would work there as well. Okay, perfect. So let's go back here and keep configuring. So next thing we're going to do, I'm also going to create a one for routers. Router command set, router read only. And that's, I'm only specifying a different one because I don't really need to have them change any interfaces on this. Show. Enable and show, no command T, nothing else, or configure T. Then we'll go to admin policy sets and we'll start building our policy sets. So let's go ahead and create one for switches first. Switches. This is the device admin policy set for those. We'll go ahead and do create new condition. It's going to be, excuse me, device type, switches, done. We're going to go ahead and change the identity store to our Active Directory. And let's go ahead and insert the role above. So domain admins, same thing as we did before. So we'll just go ahead and say, if it's part of this AD group, go ahead and grant it this level of access. So security demo net, external groups, domain admin. Command set is going to be iOS all, and the shell profile is going to be iOS admin. Done. Duplicate below, demo users. Let's change that over to demo. iOS demo, and the shell profile will be iOS demo. Done. Let's go ahead and create one for the router really quickly. So create one above. And it's pretty much a very close repeat of what we did before. Device type equals routers. Done. Change that over to AD. Done. let's go ahead and create a rule above, domain admins. Oh, subgroups. Router read only, and that was demo. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and start configuring. So let's see. Let's go to my switch first and start here. So configure T, TACACS server is going to be ICE1, address is IPv4, 10.1.121, key is ICE cold. If you had multiple ICE servers that were doing domain admin service, you could essentially just go grouper TACACS ICE ICE. And we'll just go server name ICE1. Authentication, login. Let's see. I'm going to call this ICE T group ICE local if all else fails. Authentication, enable, default, group, ICE, enable, line, VTY, 04, login, authentication, ICE T. And next we're going to go ahead and do the command authorization, but we can test this out right now by doing configuration. Let's go ahead and go in with our admin account. Should work. Perfect. And let's close this. Perfect. So now I can authenticate at least with TACACS. Now we're going to change to do the authorization, the command authorization. So exec ICT zero authorization exec. We're going to ICT V2I 04 authorization exec ICT. Just because I'm not nowhere near that switch, reload in 20 just in case I blow this up. Nope. Let's save that config. All right, so let's go ahead and go authorization, config commands, Authorization commands 1 ICT group ICE1 local if authenticated. Authorization commands 15 ICT group ICE. Oh, you know, it'd help if I actually put the right one in there. Let's go ahead and change this to 15. Same thing. Line VTY 04 authorization commands 1 ICE T. So now I should be good for that. And now we're going to just make a change to accounting. Accounting exec default start stop group ICE. Accounting commands default 1 commands 1 default start stop group ICE. Same thing, down to 15. All right, so do write mem. Now we're going to go ahead and clone the session and try log in again. PRT, interface G10/24, shut, no shut. All right, perfect. And reload, cancel. Perfect. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to log in with our test user, our demo user. So let's go ahead and change this. Credentials that I'm going in with, demo user, and clone the session. Oh, did I not save that? RT, interface G10/1. Okay, can't do that. Let's try 15. Shut. No shut. Awesome. So as you can see here, that we basically set it up on for demo user not to have access except to those ports. I can shut and unshut them. I can do show run. I can do all the show commands. That's all I can do with that. I can't break anything. I'm not allowed to do anything else except pretty much shut and unshut those ports and look at my show commands. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and replicate that config over my switch to configuration, and let me change my, actually, I take that back. So same thing here, we're just going to repeat a lot of the same commands that we did before. Enable. Actually, would help if I did the TACACS server first. It's TACACS server ICE1 address PV4 key ICE cold a group server TACACS ICE server name ICE1 application login VT ICE T I'm going to stay in as my local user because you'll start to see that there's going to be a point where I hit that I'll have to relog in because I'll fail command authentication or authorization. So just give me a moment while I go ahead and pull this up. So let's get to configuring these commands. And again, let's go ahead and do reload in 20, just as a sanity check in 20. No. So next we're gonna go ahead and configure the authorization commands. For some reason, whenever I'm talking about authorization authentication, and I'm going through and like trying to do something else at once, I always confuse the commands. But I do, anyone who's listening, I do understand the difference between authorization and authentication. I'm just usually really bad at chewing bubblegum and walking at the same time, or in this case, talking and configuring at the same time. I tend to have more fat fingering, as you can see here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this a little quicker this time because you guys have seen me configure this. So we're going to go to line VTY 04, authorization commands 1 ICE T and 15. This is where I should, yep, that's exactly where I thought I was going to hit the issue. So let's go back to here. Perfect. Go right back in. Actually, I think I messed something up. Really? Okay. Do show run AA. I missed some commands. Because it should have dropped me right into privilege 15 with my administrator account. So let's go ahead and see authentication. Group is local. And let's see what my do show run. Authentication ICT, good. I've got that done. That there. At least we're getting to troubleshoot this in real time as well. So authorization, authorization console, authorization exec, ICE T, none, authorization exec, ICE T group, ICE local if authenticated, line con 0, authorization, authorization exec ICE T, line VTY 04. Yeah, I figured out what I did wrong. I was noticing that that config was a little faster than the last time. All right, here we go. Now let's go ahead and test this out again. Close, re-go into this. Boom, exactly where I wanted to be. So okay, so let's go ahead and configure the AAA accounting. Day accounting exec default start stop group ICE. Accounting commands 1 default start stop group ICE. Same thing for 15. Do write mem. do rutmem. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close out of that. And last but not least is my CSR. So let's go ahead and configure this bad boy. All right, TACACS, same as before. Server is going to be ICE. I don't think I have anything. Okay, slightly different syntax, but that's fine. TACACS. Oh, I have to probably put AAA new model. That'd help. Okay, so TACACS. Okay, server ICE1 address IPv4 10 1 121 key ICE gold exit AA group server TACACS ICE server name ICE ICE1. Okay, so same as before, authentication. And after we're done with this, we'll go ahead and watch it catch the router rule versus the switch rule. It's not that exciting to look at, but at least, it gives you a little context and has, some of the ways you can play around with this thing if you needed to get some really granular policies going. Oops. Now we're going to go ahead and configure those authorization config commands. And right back to the line. Authorization commands 1 ICE-T. Authorization commands 15 ICE-T. Now I'll need to log back in with my administrator account. So my domain admin account, which obviously would not be listed as administrator in real life, but again, lab, so normal rules, best practices kind of go out the window. If it's a lab, I get to play around and not really spend time thinking about the little things like that for a lab. Start, stop, group, let's just do ICE, accounting commands 1, default, start, stop, group, ICE, and same thing for 15. Do right mem. So now that we've got the CSR policy, we can just kind of go in and let's try to test out demo user really quickly. Yeah, so all I can do is show run and that's it. So it's pretty nice there. And if we wanted to take a look in ICE to see kind of the settings and any other information. We could do scheduled reporting to look at those command sets. We can also see the real-time live log to see user come in and out. If you want to click details to see what happened, I failed to permit. I basically entered the wrong password. Let's see. Oh, let's see. This one was. Yeah, so you get to see quite a bit of information, run reports on what everyone's doing, what commands they're doing on each account or on each device. You can filter these by specific device. So let's do a quick filter of like R1. What has everyone been doing on R1? Because we've noticed that that something has happened, and we're starting to see issues with it, and maybe somebody went and configured something after hours that we need to go and verify. So you get a little more information, and you can filter these reports and change the timing a bit. I'm going to close this real quickly. Anyways, that was pretty much all. I know it went a bit longer on this video, and it really wasn't like we were doing anything different than the previous videos, but I wanted to kind of go into like some of the different roles-based access and like how you can change the roles based on what kind of device or even a specific device. Obviously, me just saying router versus switch in my command set, it's very easy use case. But if you needed to say get granular and say routers at this location, this local IT admin can do these commands and nothing else, and they're pretty much walled off from modifying any other network devices in the rest of my network. You can potentially hand over some of those administrative duties that way. The possibilities are limitless. The only recommendation I do is just I always have is just keep it to a nice clean policy sets. And try not to have one for like every site, but if you can consolidate those roles a bit, that would be amazing. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.